I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it
Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine!
Ken!
Sarah!
Sark! Don't forget Gerry!
Hey, I'm Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends. Hi, friends.
Hello,
Hi, Brian Posehn.
Hi, Brian. Happy 2014.
Sorry we missed one last week. Unavoidable. We tried to load up for the holidays, and then people got sick.
Then we loaded up on viruses.
It's true.
Yes. Couple quick things before we get going. We received a Christmas card from Earthquaker Devices with a great drawing in it. They're super cool. They've advertised on the show before. They've been fans for a while.
That's awesome.
I got some cash handed to me at one of my last stand-up shows.
But that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
But
that's just Birmingham, Alabama, and
the third stall in the
Pensacola, Florida. Will and Scott both gave me 20s. And
thanks, bro.
And then some money.
Names. Yes. And what else did we get? Oh, God. This guy, Micah,
Holy shit.
wrote a really nice note.
Yeah, this is great.
And he had done some fan art for the show, and then he decided to make them into playing cards. And they're so well made
They're
and so
the greatest
cool.
thing in the world.
Yeah. And we each got a set.
With multiple versions of the characters.
Yeah, he
Fantastic.
says, thanks for making a great show. Micah, thanks for this. This is crazy.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joker is Sark.
Right.
Every
But it's
character,
got
the entire cast, all the way back to the early episodes.
It's got Gerry and I's dead characters, too, so pretty cool.
Thanks again, buddy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well done.
We'll send something off to you. We got your info here. Thanks, man. And then
I'm going to
put
send
that
them
on the list of the short list of perks to playing recklessly. You get people to send you swag for multiple characters now.
yeah. Recklessly.
I am totally dying this episode.
Listen, I don't know what we would send the person that would do this, but if you paint a van with the cast on the side, we'll figure out something special.
Actually, 6 vans.
Well, here's what we're going to do, Micah. We're going to give you a big bow from the Nerd Poker Alpaca. Come on, give us a bow. That's the Nerd Poker Alpaca giving you a big bleed out to Micah. Thanks for those playing cards. Back to you, Brian.
Oh, God. I missed you, Blaine, over Christmas and everything.
I had a lot of toys to deliver.
You could come to my house and yell stuff.
Blackie Claus.
Oh, hey, I want to give a shout out to whoever it was in a Mexico City restaurant the other night. I was getting drunk with my wife. The baby was over at his grandmother's, and 2 dudes walked by and just looked at me and gave me the devil horns and went, Blackie Green.
Right on.
So it makes us all feel good. In a sexual way.
And your wife stood up and open hand slapped you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it got hot. It got so hot.
Bring your Dungeons & Dragons out on date night.
Check it out. I was in the parking lot of the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf up where that Albertsons is on Hillhurst. If you're listening in Dubuque, you can tune out for a second. But this guy, I'm walking across the parking lot, and a giant guy in a spacesuit comes at me, like a big silver spacesuit with a giant head. You remember...
Are you in a Coen Brothers movie?
It was so fucked up. It was... you remember when Jaws was coming to James Bond in New Orleans in the alley? It was really creepy. It was like that. It was this giant astronaut head. He goes, I just landed and I'm looking for love. I want love on Earth. Earth needs more love. Please, you've got to listen. My name is Dennis Woodruff. I used to be an actor, and I had some hard times. And he holds out these DVDs, and I have one. I haven't watched it yet. But then he takes his helmet off, and there's a weird gag. But it looked like he had just come back from some 50-year plant. He was way out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad. And then he gave me a hug, and he was definitely still on Earth for a while.
Dennis Woodruff, his car is more famous than he is.
It's like
He
him and
drives around.
Angeline have the famous cars in
LA
LA.
fixtures.
Yeah.
Which one is Dennis's?
Dennis is the one that's covered with the name Dennis Woodruff. It's like
Hire me,
Well,
Dennis
that's
Woodruff
right.
actor.
And then
Does he still do that? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I haven't seen the car in a long
Well,
time.
he would make the cars and then customize them and then sell them, I guess, and buy another car. But he ended up, I think he was like living in his cars. I think he's living in a
those
spacesuit
were-
now.
those-
Who
Yeah,
the fuck was he selling them to? They were
other
crazy
guys named
looking.
Dennis.
Jay Leno drives one.
Jay Leno has one of
He has
these
a whole
back there.
basement of them. Yeah, I have 19 of them. They're very nice. I have the Chevette. I
How
have
about
one.
instead of a car, you
it's a Chevy
just
Citation.
have me on to do a Tonight Show bit, Jay? No?
No. You wore a grass skirt. to
And
the
Angeline
audition.
is the candy, like the cotton candy Corvette, right? The
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets a new
And
model.
she
pink
looks
Federer.
like
She's famous for covering her face all the time.
Yeah, she looks like a Seven thing, like somebody made a model out of other parts.
Yeah.
She's bioluminescent.
Have you
though.
seen the guy whose car is covered in Recon Sniper ads?
No,
And he
thank you.
promotes himself as a bodyguard.
Oh.
I see it at Ralph's all the time. I've thought about
at Ralph's?
asking him
Come
what
out
he
to the
does,
coast
but
and have really weird experiences and shopping.
Yeah, there's a guy in a van with brass knickknacks all over it that I see every
I
once in a
have seen, yeah, like glued on.
while. What's wrong with everybody?
We should get into it.
we're
One
into
more quick thing. Richard Casciani sent us some money, and we've what do we call these things?
Thanks for the Casciani.
Post it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No,
buddy.
Dumbass. We got one. We're gonna sign whatever the fuck it is and send it off to him.
It's,
Wait, let's
it's like a
sign
it.
certificate of achievement.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Excellence in podcast support.
Thanks,
It's a
Richard.
donor sheet.
Yeah, donor.
Thanks, buddy. It's very kind of you.
Thank you.
We're going
Got
to
a
write all
Sharpie
over
there.
this. I'm going to sign it Recon Sniper.
So that's it. See you
Yeah.
next week.
All right, Dave, thanks for listening, everybody. See you right after Easter.
I can't wait to get my dragon wagon.
All right. So those guys, were, cornered.
I'm actually
Danny
surprised
in
we
last
are even
week.
in here today, considering how sick everybody was. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
testament. It's
Oh,
a
that's
testament to our love of the
Yeah, I
game.
got fucking beaten up over the holidays.
Yeah, we were just sort of transitioning into a change of scene, another change of scenery here. So a little bit more old-fashioned, possibly, game that we're going to be playing. But
Tonight's episode, change of
I saw
scenery.
I saw some people asking about leveling, and it probably would be a good idea to level. But since that's sort of a drag, we're gonna do it soon. But we'll just let you know what the changes are. But for now, I think we'll just hop right into the next bit, which, if I remember right, you guys were about to embark on a subterranean shortcut, courtesy of the mountain dwarves, and they were going to get you to Glenishmore in half the time, supposedly, is what was
Right.
thrown out there.
Half the time, and with none of the surface dwellers who were taken over by the necromancer.
That's right. You're going to.
You're still a little drunk, right?
I'm still hungover. Part of it's hungover. I think one of it might be I caught something from a dwarf.
So, the dwarf king Gron, he's allowing you guys to go into
His
he was
basement.
he was fairly vague about it, but there's some unused mines that he says will get you there quicker, and you're going with Trondor, who is quite taken with Mildred's dwarvish charms.
And I
so-
want to give the king a little wink. I understand what these mines are. This is it's backdoor Glenishmore action. It's a way to sneak into Glenishmore if shit goes bad.
Yeah, it was, and he sort of sheepishly
Yeah.
admitted that, but
That's all right. We were going to divert a river and flood Dwarf Town.
it is a little. It is.
I mean, if things
Everyone's
go
so
bad.
drunk who this conversation would matter to. None of it really ends up mattering at all.
We're all friends.
Isn't it breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but-
just checking.
I'm
Yeah.
still not.
The
sober.
dwarves sleep drink. They have like IVs. I will say though that there has been it's slightly very vaguely, there's a threatening vibe, not on the part of the dwarves, but more on the lack of explanation beyond it being sort of a access to Glenishmore in case of wartime. He's sort of glazed over why the whole thing's been walled up. It's all like, yeah, we've got some tunnels, and hey, sorry about they do lead to Glenishmore. That's a little, that looks a little weird, I know, but things are better now. But, and this really sinks in for you guys. The reason I bring it up is it sinks in for you, especially as you sort of gather in the area of the dwarf town that leads you to the tunnels, and you see that it's actually like there's dwarves there that are chipping down chunks of a wall. Like it's not like a door that was locked. It was like walled up, and they've carved out a portion of this wall that you can't see inside of from here, but looks like there was a lot that went into closing these halls off. So it hints at possibly the trip not just being like an empty subway tunnel to Glenishmore. But
in that case, I'll take an extra ration of the dwarven scotch.
Okay. And the king is here. Gron is here. You guys are. Trondor is
I'll
going with
gladly
you.
pay you Tuesday for a cask.
Are we all getting ready to go? Is there any way I could talk to the group first, or is it awkward to do that?
Yeah. Any final prep can happen now. I think we left off, though. You guys had been pretty much fully equipped as far as like...
Yeah, we're
And
loading up.
the group had tried to talk to you, and
There was a
Right.
bit of a... Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to say was that upon reflecting, your words weighed heavy, and then I understand, but just so you understand, I don't look at things the way you people seem to. Because of the way I was raised and because of what I believe, what that man did is...
Referring to Trondor, I think, right?
He was trying to kill us, and in my religion, we are about self. We are about preservation of self, and because of that, sometimes I don't think of how a group would react. I just met you. I don't know any of you. I'm going to go on this path with you, and because now I am all about killing the old man that put me on the boat. And then at some point, maybe we will part ways. I will try not to step on any feet in the future or let you know if I'm going to have a dragon kill somebody.
Wow,
Wait,
we're all
Wow.
we're all
Slow
speechless.
clap. I love it.
What was that last part?
That was like the fucking president's speech in Armageddon.
by Damien standards, that was like
I need a
that
drink.
was epic. That was like the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah.
and a bunch of stuff all rolled into one. It's beautiful.
I started to see an American flag waving behind Brian while he said that.
Thank you for your for sharing.
That was like the
we really appreciate
top
it.
of Act 3 speech, I think.
Sir Richard just had to go out and blow his nose.
Okay, so on that note, everyone
attacks
gathers. Yeah, he stabs Trondor in the neck. Trondor is there. He's with the wolf kind, Wiggy, who's going to help you guys. In addition to obviously wanting to stay near Mildred, he's also going to be sort of your guide. He supposedly knows his way through the tunnels, and Wiggy can help him out.
All right, that's cool.
Can we ask Trondor maybe why, for a little bit of backstory on the tunnels, and if there's anything we should be prepared for specifically? That kind of thing?
Yeah, before we leave, do we
Was
need,
this, was this wall put up to keep something out?
So almost immediately, like the very faintest, he lets off the usual, always observant, my friends. But almost immediately, there is a faint sheen of sweat that sort of springs out on his brow.
Total recall.
And he says, he's like, well, all our days are not as joyful as the ones you have witnessed. He's like, there was an extensive mine that we eventually did connect to Glenishmore. We admit, hopefully better times in the future. However, in the center there was an outpost that we called Breck. And over the course of mining, we uncovered an illness, an ailment of some type, and Breck was abandoned. This is hundreds of years ago. I'm sure it's fine now. We will skirt very clear of Breck itself. We are taking much safer detours.
Okay.
We have nothing to worry about.
There's no sort of extra precautions.
And Wiggy goes,
Maybe we could all take some, like, those things that cover our
masks,
mouths.
Yeah. I guess we could use our rebreathing.
What kind of illness was it?
Yeah, we have our
Did
necklaces.
it turn people into something, or was it? Oh my God, Brian has it.
He says, he's like, well, it was more of an infestation. We like to call it an illness, but dwarves are not cowards, you understand.
Of course.
Yeah, not at all.
No, of course.
He's like, yes.
It's a real estate deal that went
Perhaps.
bad, and you sold it off.
Perhaps it was germs, just larger germs that we couldn't kill with our swords and blades.
It's the floor.
You know, the size of rats. Truly awful. We are going to steer very clear.
How big are dwarvish rats?
He holds up his arms like 2 feet apart.
All right.
These are about the size of its arms.
He's like, you have nothing to worry about. Wiggy and I will protect you every step of the way. And Wiggy goes,
Famous last words.
Now
yeah.
about that scotch.
yes.
Tonight's episode.
Yeah, the king, everyone.
Sir Richard's
well, not
drinking
everyone.
problem.
That there is, there's a little entourage there that's bidding you farewell, and Gron is there.
It's like taking extra ammo. I'm going back into
exactly.
shit.
Anticipating your request, he hands you a.
Well, now I'm insulted.
It's like a little keg, a dwarven mug-sized keg with a strap that you can carry over one shoulder.
Did anyone get
Awesome.
oil flasks or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
took
got-
the
We
full
got-
ration of
I'm just,
like
you
oil
know,
and
thinking
of
stuff for
burn
torches
this
and
stuff, whatever it is,
Yep.
for you kind of.
This is also obviously very flammable.
Well,
Lanterns.
it's not
This
for
is like-
throwing.
It's 151 scotch.
It's not
right.
for.
Dwarfarty.
I take a drink and thank them.
Okay. Yeah, the king he bids you good speed, and
Oh yeah,
He's
and
like-
let's exchange rings, and like I want to whisper to him like a word, just in case. That way he knows that I'm not taking over, and I know that he's not taking over.
okay, all right, you do so.
All right,
What's your safe word?
I'm gonna pass it to you.
Okay, all right. No one else can know. He says, have a good trip, and you guys shoulder your belongings, and if you're ready, you can head through the wall now.
Let's boogie.
There's a surprisingly low level of fanfare surrounding this departure, or maybe not surprising, but this is a pretty low-key exit that you guys are taking. So, all right, as you walk through the chunk of the wall that the dwarves overnight sort of chipped out of huge blocks of stone, and your eyes adjust to the darkness inside there, you can see like an arched tunnel, and it leads maybe just 50 feet down. And in the faint light coming from the town behind you, you can see another like super huge, heavy wooden door with chains and bars on it on this side. And as you guys are looking at that and sighing, you hear stone grinding behind you, and you can see the dwarves sealing the wall up already. The king is already turned tail and is hiked back into town, but
What was all that "we" shit he was saying about? We will steer clear.
well, that was
No.
Trondor. That was Trondor. Yeah. So Trondor, he approaches the
They
door,
look so much alike.
and he
They do.
pulls a big like iron key out of his belt, and he like cranks this gigantic like padlock open. Clunk. It swings down, and he beckons you all inside. So it's going to be torches or lanterns at this point. It's going to get real dark.
Yeah, I think we got lanterns.
Light 'em up.
Okay.
Now, if I
have some infravision going.
can I
so I'm
take?
good.
I haven't used any of the Bahamut gifts like this, but can I cast a light with the gauntlet palm, or even like with the leg that has been replaced? Is there like an unwrapping
as like
of that?
a
As
consistent.
a light of Bahamut, yeah.
You
Don't you
try
have, like,
a
flashlight app.
you try an experimental one just down the tunnel, but it just silently flashes down in the tunnel. It does for just a brief second. The beam
Oh,
illuminates.
okay. I was shooting at that. I wasn't shooting it. I was just wondering if I like either take off the gauntlet or like whether the like ghost hand that I had cast.
Oh, I see. Yeah, very faintly though. It would be like a cell phone screen as opposed to the light. So
Okay.
it would be like you could see things in a closet with you, but not really what's ahead of you.
Hopefully, Sir Richard won't be trapped in a closet.
Okay, so you guys move in. Trondor swings the doors shut behind you, and you can hear feet scurrying down the tunnel from beyond where the dwarf stone crafters are closing up the wall, and you hear the padlock shut clunk, clunk behind you.
The Dwarven Stonecrafters, quality eyeglasses in about an hour.
So we're not going back the same way.
No, this seems to be. You guys are committed now. Not even Trondor could unlock it from
Wait,
here.
how
so-
were we getting back though? Then
I guess now we're going above. Had assumed we were going through the tunnel, but
Oh.
now that it's closed,
yeah, because don't we have to go back to get our crystals and do all that stuff? So
this is definitely
well.
in theory,
I think the
a
idea.
return
Yeah,
trip.
I think the idea was to get you there, but clearly the dwarves are, not willing to let you back. Maybe you could knock really
yeah, but we
loud.
already talked to the dwarves about coming back, didn't we?
Yeah, but I
Remember-
think
Yeah, 'cause they
they.
got to get our crystals.
I think they were thinking you'd come back above ground.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I was thinking.
All
Once,
right.
once you got there.
Well, you are them, so
You ought to know.
I don't know what crazy game you're playing.
So you guys light up lanterns or torches? What were you carrying?
Lanterns.
Lanterns. But yeah, I
Okay.
forgot I have
Lantern,
60
and then I
feet
have
of
pouches of oil too.
60 feet of
So you.
Rope.
dark vision. Night vision.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
Welcome,
you guys probably
welcome to the tip of the spear, Mildred.
You probably don't all need the lanterns up. You could save the.
Yeah,
Save
I'll
the
I just said I
oil.
don't
save
need a
oil.
lantern, so
got it.
yeah, I don't think I do.
All right.
Wait, so you have Mildred has
According to this, the
Infravision?
dwarven infravision enables them to see up to 60 feet in the dark.
Blackie does.
Me too, yeah.
I think I might, but I have to look in my old book.
Why don't you guys
Joking.
take the front and the back?
Sure.
That way it might, and I'll walk behind whichever one of you is not is at the front with the lantern. For the
Well, we
rest
should
of
have
us.
one at the front and one at the back, maybe. Or in
That's what I was-
Trondor
that's
also.
what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
No, yeah. So
Oh yeah, so Trondor should be the tip of the spear.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell him that he'll like it.
Okay, so you guys form a line. Trondor is on point, and he's leading you, down into these tunnels. Like super stifling, muggy, sort
Muggy.
of warm.
Ugh.
Yes, yeah. It's also dusty. This is all just clearly no one has walked this way in hundreds and hundreds of years. And Trondor, he's sensing apprehension, and perhaps having the door sealed behind him has sort of, made his current situation that much more of a reality. He's talking a little bit more as you go about Breck, and it starts to sound more like they like dug up some type of critter, like there was some type of varmint that they released that the dwarves weren't able to deal with on a man-to-man basis, and people got sick. He says it doesn't sound like they were possessed or anything, but it just sounded like a really close thing I could compare it to is like a really bad rat infestation.
I hope it was spiders.
But he seems sort of sheepish about it, which is probably why no one wanted to talk
sheep.
about it. Cause,
Why'd it have to be sheep?
Because they were not able to deal with it like warriors should.
It's
so.
the dwarvish.
I hate sheep, Jake.
It's the dwarvish Vietnam.
Yeah.
Now you up, Hacky.
Okay, so you guys move down this tunnel, and it's essentially like almost the equivalent of a mountain path on the on the overworld. It's just a long, straight, narrow path that is connected the two cities essentially. And so as you guys are going, he's explaining there's some side tunnels that we're going to take just to make sure we avoid any trouble. He's like, I don't anticipate anything, but who knows what could have happened in the last millennium.
Yeah.
And Wiggy's zigzagging up ahead, sniffing, searching, trying to make sure that everything's good.
Can we deploy Stargoyle to do a little bit of a search?
Stargoyle's buzzing around your shoulders.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where's Scrappy Doo?
Stargo could potentially suck up whatever it is.
If it was if it was little, yeah. Okay,
could
so you guys
salvage
moving down the tunnel, and there's no left, right. There's no at this point any questions or options. You've walked for maybe say an hour and a half, straight line. And you can see how this would save you a lot of time. There's no weather, no inclement weather, no
Chance of survival.
But Wiggy stops short, and Trondor, in the middle of one of his rambling stories, he throws up like everyone stop moving, the SWAT team freeze sign. And you guys stop, and you can just hear, like in the darkness, you can just hear Wiggy,
He's masturbating.
And then even that stops, and it's almost like at that point it almost gets claustrophobic. Even Wiggy is it sounds like he's holding his breath, and as if he was signaled, although you didn't see anything. Trondor inches forward, and you hear him sort of sigh, and he gestures you guys forward, and you can clearly see in the dust here on the floor, you can clearly see a three-pronged, like a footprint that stops, and it's big. It's like 18 inches long, and it comes up the tunnel and it stops right where Wiggy is sniffing around, and then you can see it walk back down the tunnel. So something was down here that was of a decent size, and it has almost like a bird. Sort of a bird-shaped footprint.
Raptors.
Trondor seems a little bummed out by this. He's like, we're not, because you haven't even hit any forks in the road yet. But he's like, we'll just have to, we'll be careful. Wiggy will be extra vigilant, and you've got Stargoyle flying ahead as well. But a little bummed to learn that the tunnels are not as abandoned as he thought, especially this soon. Only 45 minutes more of walking, and you're just following that one set of it's one set of footprints that went both ways at this point, but following the tunnel down there. Oh, go ahead, Blaine.
I was about to say there's only one set of three-pronged footprints is when he was carrying me.
In his mouth.
Yes.
45 minutes later,
girl.
you guys, Trondor says, we're approaching the first junction where we can begin to sort of skirt around Breck. And so the pace sort of slows, and Wiggy's up ahead, Stargirl's up ahead. And you see Wiggy stop. Again, this is just, you can just see his hindquarters in your infravision, sort of glistening up there.
It's a great Steely Dan album.
And as you slowly close the distance to where Wiggy froze, those of you without infravision suddenly notice that you can vaguely see up ahead. There's some light source up ahead where there shouldn't be one. There's just a moment of sort of like looking, and Wiggy is like checking to make sure no one's up there, and you hear the faint whisper of Trondor pulling a short sword out of his belt. He's like, I don't know, this is unfortunate. I don't know what this is.
Let's take a quick break.
Yep.
And we're back.
That was a great break, guys. Good hustle out there.
All right, so you guys are noticing a very vague or faint light up ahead.
You guys all hear a cork escape from its cask. I take a little drink.
All right.
And I put the cork back.
This is a thing now.
Yeah, it is.
We've crossed a
Don't
line.
worry about it. You got other problems right now.
That's when he drinks. When everyone has problems that distract him from him drinking.
It's like spinach.
Man, that is fucked up.
Just take spill out of the flask.
Okay,
What are you
so
looking at?
inching forward along one wall, you see the sort of out of the darkness, because the tunnel doesn't bend at all. Just it sort of resolves in the distance. You start to see that there is a four-way intersection where this tunnel continues, and there's a cross tunnel. And on the wall, on one of the one corner, is a lit torch. Not a magic torch, just a regular torch. So it had to have been replaced within the last day. But you don't see from here. You don't see anything. So the tunnels seem empty.
Hey, free torch. I acquired torch.
All right. So moving up, you get real cautious as you get to the junction. You're checking left, right, making sure that nothing's clear.
I want to check evil.
Okay.
Ping to see if I'm detecting evil.
So you don't, or you do, but you don't get a hit.
Yes. Okay.
The tracks that you were following, they approached and departed down the tunnel to your left. So they came up from that direction and then walked up to where you guys just came from, turned around where Wiggy stopped for a second, and they walked back and then went back down to the left.
Can we assume that they heard the wall coming down and checked?
Yes.
I believe that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, Trondor, he agrees. He's like, that is also the shortest way to Breck.
Not so drunk now, am I?
But he says, I don't know what this is. This is not. If this is the creatures that infested Breck, then it's much bigger now than when we found it.
Well, that's good
when
news.
It boiled out of the cave walls.
I'll offer another bit of happy news. They haven't acclimated to the dark. They have torches. I mean, this could be dwarves. I mean, the footprints aren't, obviously, but maybe there's something else down there.
Could be Big Bird. I got my fingers crossed for Big Bird.
Like a chicken lady.
Yeah.
Big Bird is a sweetheart.
Really
I
is.
wonder how many
the
hit
two guys
points-
inside him are kind of
How many hit points
Kids
does
in the
Big
hall?
Bird have?
Chicken lady. Yeah.
So Trondor,
Big Bird will
It's a
kick your stomach
classic.
open.
Trondor, he says, this is. I'm glad we didn't run into anything yet. Obviously, I would not have been afraid if we had. But he's like, our path leads to the right. He's like, we go to the right, and we're gonna try and scoot around. all the way around Breck. So we don't even deal. We're just going to move through the mines and just leave the dwarf town, give it a wide berth. So
I would be for checking out and scoping out Breck, though, if anybody wants.
Something cooler.
Or is
Obviously, they're
Trondor
defending it for some
unhappy
reason.
to see me say that?
no. There's a sheen
Breck-
of sweat springs out instantly, but he claps you on your arm.
Is Breck the shortcut to Glenishmore?
No.
Let's go to Glenishmore and maybe put a pin in this one and come back when we can sit down and research it online.
I feel like we're not
right.
going to be able to avoid it. I have a sense that that's what's going to happen. So
We can try the right tunnel. Well, there's also a middle tunnel, right?
Yeah. He says that's just more mine passages.
I think we should
but
split up.
I think we should
We'll cover more
keep
ground.
going.
You sold that pretty well. For a second, I was like, are you kidding?
All of us and Damien.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, he did. He made a little face.
That was Ken talking, right? Not Bart.
Nobody said it in the game.
No.
Okay, so he looks at you, from one of you to the next. Trondor wants to reaffirm that you guys are willing to take that right tunnel. It's like, obviously, we can try and visit Breck if you wish, but I feel like that's a problem for another day.
It's got some nice restaurants, but there's an arts district, but it's a lot of bad parking.
I
We
would.
don't want to go.
I would then let's continue on to Glenishmore.
Okay.
To Glenishmore.
To Glenishmore.
To Glenishmore!
Speaking of, I take a drink to Glenishmore.
No, there we go. And now that seems innocent enough because it's just a simple
Yep.
toast.
Covered it.
you're 2 drinks
I'm
in.
sweating a little
We
bit.
really need a bard. We need a rogue and a bard in this party.
Maybe you should toast to toasting.
What if Sir Richard falls from paladin status? Good.
Yeah.
Well, he's hanging out with an evil guy, and
And he's hammered on
24/7
dwarf sauce constantly.
It's true.
And he's about to get eaten by giant sentient rat lizards.
Slash chicken slash the three-toed.
Okay, so you guys,
I like that we've gone the chicken route.
you toast.
I'm
No,
thinking
only
sloth.
you drink, but the toast is made. You guys head down this right passage. Again, this is like an arched. It's maybe 15 feet wide, 20 feet tall, arched roof. Just looks like the sort of like the catacombs of Paris, kind of. It's not a tiny
la.
tunnel, but it still feels
what?
feels sort of cramped. Just something about the way that it's built and the stagnant air and all that. Moving down to the right, this tunnel immediately becomes less of sort of a thoroughfare, and it starts to become more of a mining tunnel, like a work tunnel. The floor is sort of chipped, and you start to see remnants of old picks and shovels and chunks of wall missing. And at one point you pass it's a sort of like a T intersection, but as you look left and right, it's just 2 sort of pits, shafts that lead down into the darkness. And looking down, holding your light up and looking down, you can't see past the range of the lantern or the infravision. It just looks like mining shafts. There's gear. There's and there's some like
Hey,
old.
do you guys hear something?
I just heard somebody whisper
This
shaft.
place is freaking me out now.
Some old like block and tackle up above the top of it. And you start to pass these sort of regularly. Some of them have lids on them, like they're old cisterns or wells. And you have not passed any side tunnels that you could have taken off of this one yet. But on the 4th or 5th, where is it? On the 5th sort of set of these pits, as you're walking, Blackie, everyone do earmuffs for a second. All right, everyone's covering their ears. This saves having to get everyone out of the room. All right. Blackie, you hear the faint sound of singing in a language you don't understand. Very faintly coming up out of the left pit.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. But just you.
All right.
Oh,
Lasagna.
spaghetti.
Let's see. Then we've got... Okay, so Wiggy still on point. He's leading you guys ahead.
Hey, can we just stand here and take 5 for a second while I send my buddy Stargoyle down that certain tube?
Okay. All right.
I just kind of give Stargoyle a little.
So as you guys put the group into reverse for just a second, and you back up around one of the pits. It looks just like the rest to you guys. Stargoyle goes mee, flies down, and you wait. You wait patiently. You're familiar with like how quick he can move, so waiting. Maybe 20 minutes go by. And he pops up out of the top.
And he's got like a Hawaiian shirt on and stickers all over his suitcase. Pismo Beach and all the clams we can eat.
Yeah, and he rattles off. And he's going to town in your ear in his squeaky, half psychic way. I guess we have to do earmuffs again, so I can tell.
Hold on.
Okay. So he said that he got to the bottom, but didn't see. He got to the bottom of this shaft, and just turned right around. At the bottom of it, he didn't see anybody or anything, but there was the sounds of activity everywhere, and he didn't want to like fly around and explore beyond that. But it looks like somewhere down there, this place is in like full action. Someone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good.
Really? I can't believe it. He just met Vic Tayback. They were taping an episode of Alice down there. I guess they went out on the road and did a bunch of them. They did one in Albuquerque and one in these pits. Hey, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's what I heard down in the pits. Crazy siren going on Sunset Boulevard. It's okay. It's just Cloverfield, everyone. Hey, I heard some singing, and so I sent our friend down in the shaft, and
We should work our way down the shaft.
Here we go.
Here, cup these balls.
He went down. He wasn't able to really see anyone, but he said that there's a lot of activity going on below us. There's probably a culture, some sort of race of beings down here that we're not familiar with, but there's some sort of civilization going on down there. I don't know. I don't recognize the singing. I mean, it's not like I'm really wise or intelligent. It's mostly about charisma.
Does it sound jovial or?
I think it's sort of more of a.
It's
Warish?
It doesn't have an emotion, a recognizable emotion tied to it.
Should we ask our cave dweller friend if he knows these other cave dwellers?
Well, and if he abandoned
David.
them, we're going to have to hide our dwarvish friends from whoever these people are.
Yeah. So
What does he say?
Trondor
about
is like, there. You heard what? You heard singing? He's like he's floored.
What
by
did
this.
they look like? Did Stargoyle see them?
Couldn't see anything. He went to the bottom of the shaft. Hold
all the way down? Did he trace around the asshole at all?
hold for line, and
He motioned to me like, you want to take this one? Or you want to fucking grow up?
so anyway, Stargoyle got to the bottom of the shaft. Brian.
All right. He licked the shaft.
Okay, good. I was getting worried.
All right, let's.
Wait,
I'm heading down there.
Wait, I'm unclear what happened. He got to the bottom of the shaft and saw nothing?
He saw nothing. It was Was there?
He didn't want
said there was a
to.
race of
He didn't want to like.
How
it
did you
took
know
him
there's
so-
a race if you didn't see anything?
Well, it took him so long to get down there. All he could play on was what he heard, and he could hear what sounded like almost like.
Crabs? Was it crab?
No, almost like there was a town of some. There's stuff moving in the tunnels. There was singing.
There could be
Talking.
more rations down there.
But it took so long to get down there. He didn't want to
Yeah, how are we
buzz
gonna get
around
down
and
there?
hang out, so he just flew straight back up. But
Well,
Okay.
there
there
is
any
a slope down, right, or no?
this is a
Straight
pit.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, more of this.
Well,
You're
let me ask
familiar with these.
Trondor: if we head back the other way, this is obviously a mining pit,
Right.
like connected to.
Can we get around it?
Yeah. Well, he says Trondor explains Brack he doesn't know what's going on down there because Brack is not below you guys. So whatever's going on down below you is something different. And he's like singing. What?
It was it was kind of poppy.
He's
Had some hooks.
So he
anything
basically
Dahu Doris?
we may have more trouble down here than we thought if there's a sentient species down here.
Is there a way to get down to that level if from like the mining days could if we
Yeah,
wanted
you guys could loop around. He could take you down there if you wanted.
Do we want?
Do we want to, or do we want to continue on towards Glenishmore?
Is there a time factor?
Yeah,
I think
again,
we should keep going for
Can't we just go
Glenishmore.
around it?
Yep, he says he can. So, and Trondor, again, sort of uncharacteristically, is without being too eager in the to avoiding the trouble.
To the
he's
right.
definitely
I start to walk around.
Yeah,
I vote we go this way.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry to go do any shaft work.
Okay.
We'll go down another time.
All right, so continuing down this tunnel, now it's at least Trondor is on high alert, so it's weapon drawn, and Wiggy is double checking everything. You notice after a little while that, and you're not sure how long ago the transition happened, but you notice that the floors here are no longer, while they're more rough-hewn, and you're getting more into sort of the mining side of things, the floors are not dusty anymore. This doesn't feel as abandoned. And you just notice now that you're not leaving any footprints, and there's none ahead of you. The floor is clearly been in use at some point in the last year, maybe. So advancing down this tunnel, you pass more and more of these. Your ears are open now to the sounds of
Stuff coming up from the basement, yeah.
But you don't pick anything up, just that one.
Can I ask Star Oil how far he thinks you went?
Yeah, so he says he can fly. What's his movement? I need to make. He can fly at 10. So it would have been about 10 minutes of him going. It would have been like 1,500 feet.
Okay. All right.
He got down quicker than he got up, but it was a pretty serious drop.
All right.
Continuing walking, Wiggy's up front. He's got the dwarf infravision as well as his heightened, his sort of wolf kind senses. And Wiggy once again proves to be a valuable companion here. He stops, and he lets out one sort of like dwarf mutant bark. And he sort of crab walks back his like butt bumps up against Trondor's shins, and Trondor's like, "What is it, Wiggy?" Moving forward slightly so that your guys' infravision comes into the same range that Wiggy's was up ahead of you. You see a flicker. You don't see anything other than this flicker, almost like a tinder, like a little flint, is being struck, and you just see it like once, twice, just up ahead of you in the tunnel. It could be a junction. You can't tell from here, but you see that almost like a little sparkler flash. This is the 60 feet ahead of you, and then nothing.
There's no fuse being lit, is there?
You don't see anything right now. You just see the two flashes.
Do I detect evil?
So moving up, you move up and you do the detect evil.
I'll move up and I'll use my gauntlet hand to detect evil. Let's just... The safety's off.
Okay. All right. You're going to do that?
Sure.
All right. Whoa. This is your encounter power.
I'm not hitting it. I'm saying I'm detecting evil, and if I detect evil...
Oh, got it. I got it. Okay, all right.
The safety's
I
off.
see. I thought you were just blind firing into the tunnel.
Come on. Come on.
We don't want to meet this NPC.
Yeah.
He's only had 9 drinks.
Okay, so you get a hit.
He's been counting.
You get a hit.
Yeah. You do get an evil hit.
Okay.
And it's not Damien.
No, it's not. He's behind me.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's just up ahead, slightly off to the left.
it's evil. Just so everybody knows.
I should go back to the disco downstairs? Or?
Yeah, let's go see what's going on up here.
I'll alert the media.
I take a knee and I'm like this.
Okay. So from where you're at, the hit there must be a junction, or it's inside the wall or something, but from where you're
so
at,
there's
up
a
in the
corner
dark.
coming up.
Yeah.
In theory. Or they're in the walls.
Yeah. So what's the... Sir Richard shouts, I've got something, and drops to a knee, and he's pointing the gauntlet up the tunnel. Wiggy's backed up to Trondor. Trondor's sword, he's standing at the ready.
You just got to go forward,
Yeah,
right?
I'm moving forward.
Yeah,
but I'd
put my
like...
shield up.
Yeah, I'd like... I'm going to have
And the lanterns throw some kind of field of light, right? I mean...
Yeah, I think their range is a little less than less than the infravision.
I'm going to have the lantern in the left hand, the gauntlet in the right, doing sort of the Queenie wave, just in case. So, this guy's unarmed. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Right.
Hold on.
Nope.
Playing.
Something
funny.
Nerd Poker is brought to you by the Polar Vortex, giving you something to talk about when you call your mom once every week and a half. Polar Vortex, from the makers of Record Hot Summers of the Summer Hemisphere.
Brian's cooking up a note here. Hold on.
Fart bath. That's the only thing I could read. I'm sure.
Oh, that's my grocery list.
Something else.
All right, Brian.
You know, a lot of people have been snorting fart bath salts.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to make sure.
It
And
gets
I
you
want to
pretty
see...
fucked
2 rounds, and then as long as I do it, is duration.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 2 rounds
casting
or
fart
just
bath.
2?
It's just
Because that would be...
no, not 2 rounds, but 2.
2 actions.
Because that'll be real quick. Okay, cool. Okay, casting time 4, right? And duration 3 rounds per level. Is that the one?
No, 2nd level.
Oh, 2nd level. All right. We're pouring through the... Oh, are we taking a break?
Let's take a quick break while we figure this out.
All right.
It's a new year, time to do a little life upgrade, and I know the perfect place to start, with your personal or business website. Make a good impression for once and use Squarespace. You know it's going to look professional, you know it's going to look clean. Whether you need a little help creating a website or a lot of help, Squarespace is the place to do it. They're the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. Plus, they have Squarespace Commerce, where you can sell any kind of product, digital or physical, using a single interface. It's super easy, and they take care of all of the logistics. Start a free trial today. You don't even need to have a credit card. If you like it, Squarespace starts at just $8 a month and includes a free domain name if you sign up for a year. When you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure to use the offer code DICEBAG to get 10% off and to show your support for Nerd Poker. Thanks, Squarespace. And we're back.
All right, so inching forward down the tunnel towards the
Sure. I'm walking up to the corner.
evil hit.
I'm going to do a little SWAT peek when I get up there.
And is that while we're looking things up here, or continuing to look things up, I want to find out if that's like a snapshot. Do you have to take like a detect evil Polaroid? Or is it sort of an always on?
I get to...
I hear knocking.
I use it, but I get to use it as much as I want.
Somebody's working in the building.
So you do have to ping
But
like
I
a
have
sonar.
to, one ping only.
Yeah,
Like that.
okay, that makes sense.
One ping.
Now, I
makes
also,
you
inside of
wanna-
my 10-foot radius, I get certain bonuses from evil.
Yes,
As
okay.
do anyone else, except for
The ping.
you're gonna have to ask
Evil
our
pants over
friend
there.
to stay 10 feet away from me.
Do any ping at all.
Oh my god!
Okay, so moving forward down the hall, you
Using
hear,
all my breath.
you
Making love to you is never second best. We'll be right back.
you hear the faint sound of chanting coming from
Singing
Damien.
my ass.
Always with the chanting.
Yeah, from where? I thought it was the other. I'm fine with him chanting.
Yeah, from Damien. And
That's weird chanting. It's kind of upbeat ska, guys.
Our house in the middle of the.
How many of my party could I flash at once? with the gauntlet?
you'll have to line them up. Yeah. If they don't know that you're doing it, you could probably get at least 3 of them.
Hey, everybody get in there. I want to take a picture.
Take a what?
Okay, so
It's like a memory, but it'll last longer.
moving down the hall, edging into the lantern light, you see what looks like another little dual cistern section of hall. And now you hear, somewhere in the left one, you hear now you can hear something being struck.
I move left. I hold up the lantern and I hold up my right hand.
All right. So as you come around and sort of get line of sight on the back of that, and the rest of you are like right there with Sir Richard here. As the line cast by the lantern on the corner of that wall sort of moves, indicating line of sight almost, you hear just the faintest sort of like scuffle almost, and a final and as you scoot around the edge, you see the quickest glimpse of a sort of a mottled gray hide covering broad shoulders and spiked up almost like fur down like a ridge of fur down a spine.
I don't see it for very long.
Well, you just see it as it's it's just jumped into the hole. So you see it just for the faintest. So you if you want to chase it down with some Bahamut light, you could do that. But whatever it is either just down the edge of this thing. It can climb walls, or it's in a free fall. So,
well, let's find out.
All right,
15. That's a hit.
15. All right. So you rush to the edge of the cistern. You hold a lantern up to see if you see anything, but whatever's down there is beyond the range of the lantern. You just thrust your gauntlet hand down the edge, and there's the entire little area of tunnel is for just a second bathed in the white light of Bahamut.
By the way, great Foley work here at Earwolf Studios.
Oh, yeah, do you hear
really making it. You feel like you're in a mine.
Faint hammering there. It's actually
there is work going on in the building somewhere. That might be what you're if you're hearing it at all.
The gauntlet flashes, and for just a second you see the outline of a
Scully
creature.
from
It looks
Monsters,
it looks almost like a sort of a man-sized rodent. falling.
man.
I mean, it's in full-on free fall, and you just see it for a second, and as the light fades from the camera flash of your gauntlet sort of fades, and you have the outline of it burned into your eyeballs, you can see that whatever it was, you were seeing it held, like in its last moments of being held together before, like the beam of light was going like right in the top of its head. So whatever it is, unless it was highly resistant to God beams, it's now drifting down this tunnel in ash form.
He's not going to be around to tell anybody about us.
What you do see, though, as you quickly skirt around the edge of the cistern, you see a little bit of flint and steel that had been abandoned, and there is a long fuse that ends right here at the cistern. And following it with your lantern, you follow it out, and it goes down the tunnel ahead of you, in the direction you were going. It runs down ahead of you. So it looked like it was trying to light something.
He's trying to blow us back. He's trying to send us back through Brecht. They want to blow the tunnel.
Yeah. And the fuse, so you haven't been down the tunnel far enough to see where the fuse goes, but it just heads down that direction.
I think we need
Let's
to
kick
move
that
down.
fuse out.
Well, we'll pull the fuse towards us, but we need to get down there and see what we're dealing with, because if they blow it, we have no choice.
Is it a fuse or a line of gunpowder?
It's a fuse.
Yeah.
Pull the fuse.
Yeah.
Just light it and burn it up. It'll get easiest way to get rid of a fuse.
All right, so a real quick recon down the tunnel, and you following the line. You can see right in the middle of just a section of tunnel that's just like the rest you've walked. You see like a wooden barrel, and the fuse just runs up the side of the wooden barrel and sticks right in the top. So
Here's what I do. I pull the fuse out.
Yes.
I wind the fuse up, so I keep the fuse. So the fuse is on me. You're now Donkey Kong. You're going to carry this barrel.
Okay.
All right. You got 18 strength, too.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
all right, lifting the barrel.
I can also just throw it and breathe on it. If we have to.
the best part.
Lifting the barrel, it's not unmanageable, but
Why not?
yeah, you as you tilt it left and right, you feel that it's not a powder; it's a fluid.
Oops. Maybe we shouldn't be messing with this.
Oh, what do you? It's nitroglycerin. It's probably
Sorcerer
some
is
fuel
on
or
the
oil.
way.
Do we really need to be carrying barrels of flammable liquid?
Yeah, but what a big surprise when they see that. Or they don't see it, and we're just like, hey, their place is
Is there any way to seal it that I can carry it?
Oh no, yeah, it's sealed up.
Oh, okay.
You just feel that. You just feel as you lift it, you
it's
feel
just
the
full of
weight.
liquid.
Just, shift.
Perfect.
So
Look, I love having that as an ace up our sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
all right.
And I got a fuse just in case.
Can we
Who
smell?
knows?
Does it smell like gasoline or oil or alcohol?
It smells like it smells like if a spark got in there, you and a good radius of the tunnel around you would probably vanish.
It's worth hanging on to.
The podcast can't see your face, Sarah.
I stay far away from Bart, basically, for the next...
If we get into trouble, I'll put it in ice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with the fact that I just watched Sorcerer.
Yeah. Did you hear me say that? Sorcerer's on Blu-ray, April.
Yeah.
That's such a good.
We could just
movie.
light one of these things and drop it down these tunnels just for
Yeah,
fun,
but I'd rather
just to let them know where we are.
I'd rather do the Die Hard moment of put this
Have
thing
a
down an
bomb.
elevator shaft when we need to. I don't know. If you guys don't want to carry it, that's fine. We can. Throw
I think
it down.
we're gonna.
I
I think
don't
we're gonna
mind
be
carrying
seeing
it.
plenty more of these things.
Let's keep it.
So you know what we should do is maybe
Should we toss it down a shaft
No, let's
so nobody
hang on to
else
it
can
for
use
now.
it against us? All right.
Because it could be a tactical. We could come to a place that we need to breach.
Yeah.
Here's what I say we do with this one. I say we drill a hole in it, or we dump it down one of these shafts so it's empty. It can't be used against us, and if we need to, we can throw a torch down one of these goddamn shafts. It gets rid
I
of
don't
it.
want to drill a hole in it.
I mean, there's going to be plenty. There's going to be plenty more of these things
Maybe.
going on. I say we just empty it so it's not a weapon, and we keep moving.
I say we keep it as a weapon.
No, what do
Or we
What
abandon
do the
it.
rest of you guys think?
I have no problem carrying it. So
let's carry it for a little while. If it gets into the shit, we'll throw it somewhere.
I think we should just argue about it forever.
God damn it.
Or keep moving.
All right.
I'm
No,
thinking
but did we move left when we wanted to move? I mean, we moved in the direction
this was
we
just
wanna
a
go.
little...
They're just trying to redirect us, obviously.
If this had gone off and the intent was... obviously, it wasn't really to kill you because you would have seen the fuse.
Yeah.
that's the blockers.
The intent was probably to knock the tunnel down. It definitely would have forced you back, yeah.
All right.
And I don't think they would have set up several of these. They figured this one was
Let's
going to
keep
work.
this one.
You know what we could do is we could get past it and blow up the tunnel behind us so that they think that we've been either killed or set back,
That's also true. I mean, the guy can't...
and they can't get in behind us
Yeah, he can't report.
I like that
he can't
idea.
report in. That sounds like a good idea.
because we're not going back anyway.
We've got a fuse. Just pull it the other way and light it.
Do a decoy detonation, blow the tunnel up behind you.
I missed the moment of having our C4s, our C4 tied to a chair that we were going to use, but all right.
Gerry wants to manually light and throw this thing at something so bad.
You can shoot it with your thing if you want.
I would like to, actually.
Throw it at a cop eating donuts or eating Twinkies.
Do you want to put some tanks and action figures on top before you do that? Or?
I have a battleship model.
Yeah, we should call it pretty soon.
Yeah? All right.
Well,
All
if
right.
we're going to move beyond it, we should leave it right where it is.
Yeah,
and
let's go past it. I'll set it down.
I'll get at least... I mean, I know where it is now. I'll hit it with the gauntlet from 100 yards out.
So we can end with a bang this
Let's
evening.
At least it guarantees nothing's behind us.
Yeah, let's do it.
But we also
Do
cut
it,
off a
do it,
yeah.
escape.
do
All
it.
right,
So-
and then when we need to breach something later, blow something up, you're all going to go, maybe the drunk guy had a point.
Do it.
But then again, maybe the point guy had a drunk.
All right, then just this little explosion is a good cliffhanger then. You guys set it up.
Can we all run from it and freeze frame it with the credits?
Yeah. Wait, we're not detonating it? We're going to wait until
No, we're
next-
going to detonate it.
Is there a dock we can jump
Well,
off
I
of?
mean, do we have to wait till next? We're going to detonate it right now,
Are you
right?
going to detonate it next week, or do you want to
No,
do it
let's
right
do
now?
it. Let's
Yeah,
do it
let's
Okay,
do
now.
it
all
now.
right. All
Because
right.
for all I know, there's water above us, and you just killed us. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Okay, you set up the drum. No fuse, though? You're just going to...
No, I think there should
just
be a
going to hit it
fuse.
with
Just
the
gonna palm
Bahamut.
it.
It'll
Why don't
warm
you-
your hearts to know that I prayed to Judas for our safety.
Thank
Why-
you, Damien.
Thank you.
Damien, that was
Why don't we?
very
Why don't
kind
we?
of you.
Very evil of you.
Why don't we thread the fuse as if as a backup, and then
All right.
back off to safe distance, and then you can try to do it however you want to do the
I'll-
fun way
I'll
first.
light the fuse. How about that? And if the fuse for some reason doesn't work, we can back it up with the wand. Well, let's go past the barrel.
Right.
We'll thread it,
Yep.
and then we'll walk past the barrel, and then when we get to the end, we'll light the fuse.
All right. You do so.
I'm also praying to Judas that we stop talking about this and just do it.
Are you still chanting, too? You could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Somehow managing to... His sarcasm somehow manages to work its way even around his chant. You run the fuse down the hall. You guys move down. At the end of the fuse, it's about 150 feet,
Jesus. All right.
which isn't...
It's not that far.
Looking back up the tunnel at where you know the barrel's sitting, it's really not that far.
Should we get beyond it
And he
shoot
was
it?
definitely
Yeah,
planning
he
on
was-
taking cover in the...
Yeah, he was going to jump down a fucking hole. We're not going to do that. We're going to blow our ears out.
Yeah, actually, we might create a blast that comes right down the tunnel.
Yes.
Kind of
So, if you do this, you should
have a turn we can go
book
around.
it down, or you should have a place where you're lighting it from a.
Is there a branch anywhere up
You
here?
can, yeah. You
Okay,
can
let's
move
branch off. Yeah.
Okay.
Light
We'll
it
branch off, and I have another.
Everybody hide around the corner.
I have another plan too.
Okay.
I got a plan.
All right. So you go pick up the barrel, you move it down, just so that the fuse will reach the next little mine shaft area, and you
okay.
guys huddle up around one of the top of one of the pits, and now you're holding the end of the fuse in your hand.
I put my shield up.
Yep.
I want to light it, and after the fuse is burned a few feet, I'm going to ice the tunnel from floor to ceiling, make an ice wall.
Okay.
Just
now,
for the concussive force. Just
you
for the
can only
concussive
shoot
force.
spears, though. You can't. You're not Iceman.
I don't listen. I don't know.
Can he
I
surf
don't
on the
know
ice?
that.
If he can surf on the ice, that'd be really cool.
Just let me try.
You're gonna try. Okay. No.
Don't get in the way of
That's
my.
why
Don't get in
role
the way.
playing with Jerry is so
Don't
fun.
get in the way of my dreams.
Okay, so you light the fuse, and you're using even the you have the ability to light this
Could
thing
have
a
gotten
number
that
of
guy's
ways.
lighter.
But, yeah, but just using his borrowed,
Yeah.
his little flint and steel. The fuse lights up after a few tries. Seems sort of shitty, but meaning it doesn't light immediately.
Yeah.
It's not a very elegant device.
Is
But
there a way we can also affix ourselves to the wall so we don't, if there is a lot bigger than what we're expecting, that we don't go cascading down one of these holes?
I'm saying we're around the corner.
Yeah, we're around the corner, but we're not near another pit, are we?
well, yeah, you are. But
There's all sorts of
Thanks
things. that
for
can go
all
wrong.
okay.
All sorts of stuff.
all
can
right.
go wrong.
Anyway, the fuse now. Once it catches, it sort of hisses and spits and halting and jerkingly burns. Like you see it peeking your head around the wall. You see it sort of.
And even now, though, I'm not looking back.
You see it burning.
I'm gone.
And you get a good idea for just watching it for the first 20 feet how long it's going to take. It'll be a good 15, 20 seconds probably to like burn its way up there.
I take a drink.
The cork. Yeah,
Here's the backdraft where the fire is a character.
the light that the spark is casting on the wall sort of fades, and then the sound fades, and you have that sort of that moment once you've lit every firework where you start to wonder if it's going to go off or not. But you are promptly reassured that that is not the case, as there's a thunderous explosion down the hall. And blocks of rock. You guys, you're huddled up and you're hanging onto the side of this thing. There's not a concussion that's going to knock you in or anything. But there's blocks of rock that are a good 4 or 5 feet, in length, that are sent. Like you hear them, they don't whoosh past. They zip like a bullet ricochet. So this explosion's like rocks and debris. Following the hissing rocks that fly past is just a wall of dust, like 9/11 dust, just through the hall.
Never forget.
I put up my rebreather. I turn on my sparklet.
Oh, the sparklet bubble.
Yeah, sparklets.
Yeah, and after a couple minutes, the dust starts to clear. Your ears are just. And looking around the corner, you can see the tunnel that you just walked up extends at this point, like in a way that you could walk through it, maybe 8 feet. You've probably blew up like 400 feet of tunnel, which is it should be noted, and Mildred, you and Trondor both appreciate this, that the wick. The fuse was exactly the right length. So as sort of ghetto as the explosive seemed, it was
I know what they're doing.
pretty precise, yeah. So it blew up right up to where you guys were.
400 feet of tunnel.
So yeah, you're just staring at a wall of debris and rock.
Let's
now.
call it then.
Let's keep
Your heart
going.
out, Chris Christie.
Do we have any Deadpool? When's 23 drop?
23 is out at the end of the month. I'm going to go to Phoenix next weekend. Amazing Comic-Con in Phoenix. You're going to be somewhere. You're signing then, right?
Yeah, I'm signing at Challenger Comics in Chicago next weekend. It's like the 25th or 26th.
Cool. And Nova 12 comes out as you hear this, if you're listening to it on Wednesday.
And then next week I'll also be doing stand-up at Up Comedy Club in Chicago. The same weekend I'm at Challenger Comics, which is 23rd through the 25th.
Nice.
Thanks for listening, guys. Anybody else? You guys, Blaine?
Nope. Please watch at midnight on Comedy Central.
Yeah, at midnight.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
And Deadpool the Gauntlet, available on tablets and phones and such, and the whatnots.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Later.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
Earwolf Radio. Punto.